So it's actually February when I'm filming this, and it's not terrible outside, which is amazing that here in upstate New York I can actually walk outside without my coat on right now. So I figured I would show you my water setup and how I get water for my houseplants. Now, up here in upstate New York, the water is very salty and full of fluoride, which a lot of plants just don't like. So what I do instead, I'm going to turn you around and show, is I have my rain barrel. Now, the rain barrel collects water, as you can see, that way. Well, it would if it had leaves on it, but I also have, sorry, I don't know. Can you hear the beeping? Somebody's alarm is going off. Anyways, I also have this, which connects to my sump pump in the basement and puts excess water in here. Now, if this ever gets overflow, it comes down to here, in there, and it goes to a dry well, which is essentially a giant hole that we dug down there. But you can kind of still see the route that it takes, not the shadow of the tree. Anyways, so what I will do is bring this guy. This is just a jug that I got on Amazon, and I'll leave a link to it if I can find it still. You can see it is 2.5 gallons. And what I do is we'll keep this full of rainwater. So I will let that fill up and show you part two. Okay, here it is in its little stand, and if you see, actually it's on a piece of wood, so it's at an angle, so it will always be gravity fed. P.S. You're probably smarter than I am, but if you aren't, you should always make sure that this is a little bit loose so that it can get airflow in and not create a vacuum. Otherwise, the spigot will not work. So that is how I get all of the water for my downstairs plants. Now, as for my upstairs plants, they get a little bit different. They get poopy fish water because it's full of nutrients that my plants love, and it's way easier than hauling a bunch of stuff upstairs. So, as you see, the fish think it's feeding time, but I'm gonna move the top floaters out, and I just use a standard water bottle, and that's it. And then that goes over to my calathea and my evergreen, and that way they get all of the delicious fish water that they need, and it's way easier for me. That's it. That's my whole water setup.